Shall we start?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Please introduce yourself.
Yeah, myself, 𝐼 and I've been completed my Bachelor of Engineering in MBJ, Whitefield. And after that, I've been stepped on into this Vodafone Voice, and I've been worked as a contract for the beginning for a couple of 12 months, and then I've been converted into it as a permanent employee. And now I'm presently total of 4 years of in my career. I've been working on ServiceNow, ITSM, and CSM modules,
Mm-hmm.
and as well as an integration modules, and which are only connected with third-party systems.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, my total experience is in CSM and ITSM modules on
Oh,
testing.
okay.
So, and from last couple of 1 year, we have been using this ATF,
Mm-hmm.
but like we are just started doing it, but not entirely deep into it. But like customizing steps and everything, we are not yet done. Like
Okay.
we are build with modules with incident change request and service basic
Overall,
modules.
overall is 4 years of experience, right? Relevant
Yeah.
is 4 years. Relevant also same 4 years.
Yes. My entire career, I started with ServiceNow itself.
Okay, fine. Okay. What is the difference between incident and problem?
So incident is nothing but where an customer comes across to an service desk agent which has having a problem with some set of thing which can be resolved on over a call. Like for an example, if he has an issue with his password or an Wi-Fi connection, or raising an incident or a portal, if he has an issue with his capabilities, if he or contact an SDA while being on a call or within a span of connecting with an SDA, if the issue got resolved, then it is called an incident. And if in case in the similar way of problem is nothing but where the same issues are getting occurring for a number of users, are getting like exactly for more than 5 users and 5 customers going into an issue with same Wi-Fi issue or any network connection issue, then a problem ticket will be created to get the and know what's the basic root cause, what was the issue behind it to face this issue for all the users. So this is what the difference between problem.
Okay. What is the purpose mainly? Like why incident, why problem?
So to get why incident is nothing but to know the exact tracking of the user, why did he has contact us, to know the initiate purpose of the customer who has contacted the SDA.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem, what I said previously, to know what's the exact root cause of the issue it is occurring for the users, for set of users, or it has been affected like that, to know the root cause, or any is there any alternative way to resolve all this, to get the tracking of all this. We usually create a problem.
Okay. What is business rule? What are the types?
uh, so no, I business rule.
Yeah.
No, I we okay, asynchronous and synchronous, like that you're asking, like
Yeah.
okay. Not, I'm not much into that development part, like
No, actually,
so.
as per the tester as well, you should be know about the as per the requirement. You should be able to know what is business role and how it is scheduled and scheduled job. Those things you need to understand. Then only you can able to do the testing, right?
Okay, but
Like how to test the business role, like check the condition, verify when the trigger it is, when the record is updated in the table, and when validating the field values. Those things will be dependent on the business role only.
yeah, okay, but
Do you know
I ask.
SLA?
Yeah, SLA I know.
Yeah, what is SLA?
SLA service level agreement, where once a ticket has been logged into an instance,
Mm-hmm.
there will be a response SLA firstly initiated to an instance,
Mm-hmm.
where to know what's the how long the well the ticket will be assigned to a particular group to resolve it.
Mm-hmm.
So the SLA will be the response SLA, and then the resolution SLA. So resolution is nothing but in the state of pending or in the state of resolved.
Mm-hmm.
So how long it takes the group of a particular agent to resolve the issue.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so uh, to complete this entire journey of resolving the issue, then that will be covered over an resolution SLA. If the SLA is getting breached, he is going to move out of the time of the SLA, so there will be a proper commitment SLA which will be there. So need to properly answerable for an age. Survey for particular team to why is the reason it has not been resolved within a span of some set of time of an SLA. So totally SLA will be in the response SLA, resolution SLA, tagged to it. So this entire cycle of this SLA. Based on the and this SLA will be differentiated based on the priority. So if it is P1 and P2, P3 and P4, it will be differentiating based on that.
How do you test email notifications?
So email notification is like a preferences given to an user. So once the user has been onboarded into an instance or into been mapped to a particular one of the organization, so there will be a notification enabled to him. So based on his preferences, whether he has an getting a notification or there is an outbound logs or enabled to a particular user to reserve it based on his user preference languages and with whatever the product he has subscribed. So if it all this maps to an particular notification preference, then the notification outlog will be triggered to an user based on whenever the ticket has been created behind a user and on the state of any update from an SDA, or if the ticket has been moved to pending and awaiting info, and when the ticket is also been resolved. So these are the states, these are the conditions where the email notification will be triggered to an user.
Okay. What is the path you are using for checking the notification?
No, path like when it has been initiated, it will be in send state and ready for send, and then it has been triggered to an agent where it will be like sent like that as per my thing. But we don't have any validate anything like that.
No. In the instance where you check the emails notification,
Below the related list of the particular module, or we usually go to outbound emails or CISA underscore email dot list.
if SLA is not triggering, what will you check?
So if the SLA is not being triggered in a proper way, then the basic thing is like we need to validate the blueprint of the first blueprint of the SLA, which has been mapped to the particular product. When the ticket has been assigned to a particular product, then should be a blueprint mapped to it. So then we need to validate whether the blueprint has been tagged to a particular product, and then it has been onboarded or mapped to a particular customer. So when the ticket has been logged over a particular product, so there should be an SLA tagged to it with a set of commitments and a response SLA and resolution SLA, and also as well as start condition, stop condition, and pass conditions. So based on all these terms and conditions, we need to validate before if the SLA has not been triggered to a particular ticket.
Okay. User cannot see a field. How do you debug?
So if the user is not able to see a field over a form, then there is a configuration in the form level where form design or form layout or using by UI policy or client script where can validate whether the field has been made it as read-only mode or it has been visible false or make it as visible or not by using that.
Yeah, but user some other user able to see that particular field, and that user is.
It is a views based on the form views. So it is a default view. If it is a legacy view, it is a customer based on view. Based on the views of the form, the sum of the set of users can view some set of fields and some set of values on the form level. And some users will have some fields to be a read-only and editable as well.
No, I'm asking if one user able to see all the fields in the form, and some other user not able to see all the related fields in the form. So what do you check mainly?
Mainly, I'll check the rules.
Debug that scenario.
So yeah, based on now, based on the first thing like accessibility and roles and the groups. So if the user, if the one module is assigned to a particular user, there will be a ACL created. So there it will be a create, update, delete, and CRUD rule will be there. So once the user access for particular role, with enable like creating an incident, or he can able to edit an incident, or he can able to update an incident, or he can also delete an incident based on the ACLs. We usually validate.
Okay, you worked on integration, right? Integration and API, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you
No,
test?
not an API. It is
Okay. How do you test
not
REST?
deeply on the API. Yeah.
API.
No, I have not worked on API. We have an integration like just flow, validating the flow
What you
from
validated in
vendors.
integration? Like what the scenario you work on integration?
So once we have an integration with third-party systems, like proactive incident or reactive incident, or B2B business to business incident. So once the we validate what we usually validate in the entire integration is like, once the ticket is logged in our instance, there will be an vendor ID created to a proper or external ID will be created to which this instance to be tagged to them, so that they can have an updates or resolve this ticket to a customer. So like usually once the external ID or a vendor ID is generated, the ticket will be having an assigned will there will be a task created under the particular ticket. If it is an incident task will be created. If it is a request, the request task will be created. So once on a state of on a request, there will be a task created saying like the state of in the state of new. We usually validate an attachment, documents, and the state flow, and also the resolution absence criteria, and closure state. These are the major integration flow, validations what we do.
Okay. How do you test service catalog items? Have you worked on
So
service
we
catalog
have
items?
yes, I have worked on. So we have an third-party tool where the customer portal. So once there is a maintain item created for a particular catalog item in ServiceNow. So we usually create on a user for with a particular product which it has been tagged to the particular service catalog. So then we make the particular catalog to be available to particular customer to have an access on to the third party instance. So once he logged on into that, he should have a visibility of raising tickets over a catalog like incident or a request. So once it goes on, there will be a form initiated saying like variable sets. Each variable sets have their unique sense. Like it is a drop down field, it's a string field, or it is a numerical field or email validation field based on the or it has a relationship between the parent and child fields, where once you select the parent field, there is a value depending on dependent values of other fields. And also we validate catalogs. We two types of catalogs. We have mainly it is a static catalog, and another one is a dynamic catalog. So dynamic catalog is nothing but where it is an direct interaction between the third party system and the ServiceNow. There is no any intermediate tool where it usually holds all the values coming from the ServiceNow and then making them to visible over a form. It is called a dynamic catalog, and static catalog is similar where it has a mediator in between ServiceNow and the external third-party portal. So where ServiceNow sends and values of a particular field and data. So then that mediating system will make the form visible with particular set of values to be on the service catalog. So once the when we once we submit a request or from the catalog, there will be an RITM and the service request will be created, where RITM holds all the input data given from user perspective, and it is called as a parent the ticket, and it has a child called request form. Then request will have all the inputs on the description form, and then then it takes over the normal journey, like moving from in progress to new to in progress, pending, and resolved.
Okay. Have you worked on ATF?
Yes.
What are the steps followed to create a ATF?
So you mean to create a module, or you're saying like to create
No.
an
What is the just procedure you are following to create a ATF test cases, and what you
uh,
do with the ATF?
so okay, Okay. There are two roles for as of now. There are three roles. As of now, they given me one role, ATF designing role. So where I can only modify the role, modify the steps what I have created, and I can create a new step, but I can't delete or make it yeah, moving from I can say like one reusable steps also can be done over there. So now once I'm getting an access to particular module to create an ATF, then I usually navigate to create an user with a role, particular role, whichever the module I need. If it is for a change, I usually give him a change manager role, and with an approval fields where he can able to approval, cap approval, and period approval. So once he has all this approval, and then I usually make him impersonate with impersonation. Then I usually open the form with also fields, setting up the field values, and after setting up the field values, I'll validate the form level fields, whichever to be visible, and whichever the fields are mandatory and non-mandatory, read only or not read only. And after validating all the steps, and then I usually submit the change request and saying like it should be back to a same page, save button. So once after saving it, I'll query a record. I'll create a query record saying like whether this entire change instance has been created over a list of a change or not. Once it has been created, so then I'll move back to the next step called open the existing record. So once I open the existing record, then I'll usually move on to the next step where it is an moving from assess new state to assess state by providing filling of all the mandatory field forms. There is a form in the related list. Once after submitting the form, then we usually move to assess state, so where we get an approval. Then approval, there are some set of fields to be approved, field to be followed, which is called as related list. So related list is nothing but where we have to validate, move to the related list, and also in the related list to validate whether the approval field, it is approval related list section is available or not. Once after validating that, we usually filter saying like the state with requested. So once after requested, we validate whether the records are present to approve or not. Once all these things are been appeared, then we'll say the ServiceNow will call a step called open the existing record and make it approved. So these are the normal steps by we usually follow. Like for this is for
Okay.
chain, and the same thing for an incident request and catalog as well. And also we usually do parameter testing on incident by selecting parameter, enabling the parameter testing in a button, well, to validate for different products where the user has been subscribed. If the user has been subscribed to 3 to 4 products, so to validate the assignment groups and set of category and subcategory, so we usually do parallel testing as well.
Okay. Have you worked on change management?
Yeah.
What is change interceptor?
Change
Interceptor.
interceptor.
Yeah, interceptor.
No, I don't know. I didn't heard them.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry.
What is
Sorry.
regression testing?
So regression testing is nothing but a testing where we usually perform once the entire a new build of if there is any new build of delivery is been deployed into one from from the lower instance, from development to a testing instance, to validate all the existing functionalities are working as expected, like due to this new deployment there is no any modifications or any changes happen to the existing flows. So regression will holds all the main modules which where it should not be affected to an instance or it should not have any P1 P2 defects over that main functionalities to be validated to set of functionalities.
Okay. What is STLC?
Um, no, yes,
STLC.
yes. Software testing,
Life cycle.
software testing life cycle.
Yeah, can you explain the software testing life cycle?
Once the we got a feature from a assigned a feature to in a Jira, we usually for normal basic
No,
as a
just
tester what we do is we
it's okay. Just give me the steps which we are following as per the STLC workflow.
requirement analysis,
Mm,
planning, test case design, test execution,
mm,
logging a defect, and closure.
okay. What is test suite?
Test suite is a suite where it holds all the set of modules what we usually perform in the on automation or as well as while we are doing on a regression. It is a holds all the set of test cases and test regression modules over in it.
Okay. What is smoke testing?
The smoke testing is nothing but to know the main functionality which so once the defect is logged over a defect here, so we usually perform like a higher defect will be retested. So to know whether the main functionality of the defect has been validated or been fixed or not. So like if we there was an issue with a logging functionality where user able to log in and enter the password, but when he click on login, continue where it is not landing onto the landing page of the service now. So this functionality where login button was not working. So to check the main functionality of the defect which has been logged on is nothing but smoke testing.
Okay. What are the
To check
limitations
main
of
functionality
ATF?
which so ATF is limitation where it can't handle the high level UI button UI actions, and also the where it can be performed on a higher instance where due to the rollback actions once we have an initiated of email notifications to an user which that can be rolled back, and there are some test cases test scenarios in the where we are waiting for the user to get a notification to be triggered, so which that can be rolled back in an ATF. And also there are where scripting so high level scripting can be validated over it, and also there is another one UI a pop-up can be handled. UI pop-up.
What is the difference between test plan and test strategy?
Test plan is nothing but which we usually plan before really a sprint has been starting, and before the sprint is getting started up, we usually plan what are the features which can be done with a high priority or which can be taken long time of period. Planning how many scenarios which can we can be get over this particular feature, and how long the uh, feature can be handed over due to some any dependencies of other third party systems or any integration systems or data coming from the third party system. So validating all this is nothing but test plan. And which one test plan and which one you
Test
asked?
strategy.
Oh no, the strategy is nothing but the way how we going to take the feature to a execution phase. So we need to have some prerequisite before we start, like test data setup, environmental setup, and also availability of third party systems, so where they have developed their end or not.
Okay. What is the difference between regression and retesting?
Regression is includes testing of entire entire scenarios of whatever we have. If we take on with an example as an incident, so if we are going over an regression to an incident, it holds we need to do from the scratch to end flow where we need to validate all the test steps what we need, high level basic scenarios which says like there is no defects over at high level, like moving from new, in progress, adding command attachments and resolve state rejections, all these functionalities. Validating is called as regression. Retesting is nothing but where particular set of thing we are validating, one particular test scenario where we are validating is called as test retest.
What are the types of testing?
Functional testing, non-functional testing.
Only two.
Performance testing, regression testing, sanity testing, um, the explorative testing, and ad hoc testing, static testing.
Which one?
Static testing.
Static.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. What is the difference between severity and priority?
Severity is nothing but where it is a defect logged, but it is not getting affected to the business. Like for an example, we have which we got recently in our instance. Like there is a portal where the user can have an help text button to help an he can chat with an SDA to make him to resolve. To know how to raise a case or anything like that. That is a help button. So that help button was not working, but the severity is low. It is severity is nothing but it can in a day there are the customer who are using are more than like 20 to 30 members around an organization. So the severity is high, but priority is low. So because it is not affecting the business to stop going forward or blocking any portal to raise an incident or ticket. But priority is nothing but where the user is not at all able to log into an portal itself. There, if he has entered a user name and password with valid one, where he is not able to land after clicking on the login, he is not able to land onto the landing page of the portal. Is a high priority with where it is to be fixed within as an hotfix in a higher instance.
Okay. When you are finding a bug and when you are finding a defect in the test instance, and you said it will inform to developer, and developer said it is not a defect. So how to convince them and how to resolve that particular defect? Or how to solve that
Yeah. So once
situation?
okay, so once the say like if the developer has say like this is not the functionality what which have been developed and it is not a part of development. If it but it is being affected by deploying of his feature, his story. So once we discuss after saying like he is not accepting to it, I usually go with um, a business called as PO. For a PO, I'll inform him due to this particular set of defect, it is getting affected to a existing scenario. So once after his acceptance, I'll just create a query saying like this was a issue was occurring due to this set of build deployed in the last week based on this feature. So once after the analyzing of all this and architecture, we usually directly inform to a architecture on we have a defect right call where we usually highlight issues and queries which were not been accepted or actually been accepted by the developer or by the PO. We'll be discussing over that, and then we once the architecture analyzing and knowing this is an issue caused by this deployment, then it will be converted as, or it will be treated as a new story, or it will be converted as a defect, and then we usually track it.
Have you
The main
participated?
thing is like once the defect developer,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, perfectly.
So once once the defect has not been accepted by the developer, we usually take to an basic first level to an PO and then to an architecture.
Okay. Have you participated in ServiceNow upgrade?
Not no, an upgrade I have not participated, but after upgrade, validating all these functionalities have been done.
Okay. How do you test security as a tester?
How do you test
How do you test security as a tester? If
security?
the story related to security and you need to do the security test, right? So in that case, how do you test as a tester?
I've not done it, but as per my thinking or my analysis, I can say like I usually want to take an approvals from my managers and the TLs.
Mhm.
So these are the scenarios where it is crossing the system security policies. Then we have to validate. Uh, like uh, like we usually, as per my analysis, I'm saying, like, but I'm not sure. But basically, if it is crossing any violation for policy violations, then I usually go with my manager and taking an approval, and then to add architecture maximally, like how can we overcome or how can we validate it without that, like there is any higher other possibilities. If not, we usually do what we do is like we take it to an higher instance where it is pre-prod. There we have some set of rules we can have. So if it is not even validated there, then I'm not sure like how it is like till that we have done. I mean, I know.
Okay.
So basically, we take an approvals. If not, we'll go to architecture. Like, is there any other way to validate?
Mhm.
If it is can be validated, we'll take to higher instances before to the prod.
Mhm.
Other we have other mid higher instance we have, so we'll take to there. If we can validate there, we can validate, or else like we can't. Like we now recently got an update called an AI in ServiceNow, where it is analyzing the root cause. So once any other SDAs come across to a ticket where he want to know the entire what's the process involved and what are the steps taken care, and
Mhm.
have some short description as like shortcut, like and know what's the entire summary of this. There is an AI button created to summarize all this incident. So that which we making the policy violations, knowing all the data of other as well, other tickets as well. It is not referring to a particular one ticket. It is referring to all 1,000 tickets or 1 lakh tickets what instance holds it. It is analyzing all this. So where it was an with that which was not able to test it on lower instance due to some security instance. But when we promoted to higher instances, there also we were not able to do. Once it is directly deployed as a technical deployment, there we came to know like it is analyzing with all the set of instance in the total instance in an instance. I mean, say like if you have some 1 lakh instance, it is analyzing all the instance and summarizing all of them in one ticket. So this was the issue we found it.
Yeah. How do you ensure zero defect leakage?
So no, ensure zero defect is nothing but is like we usually go each and every corner of the feature, like moves on. Like if it is not only a scenario where we are validating the what developer has been performed, we usually go with the negative scenarios and positive scenarios and cover each and every corner, and also check other old scenarios which are been existing on it, or it is an upliftment where to an existing scenario to take all the old scenarios and each and every corner. Like if it is an any integrated systems, we usually check with all other old integration systems. It should not break up with breakdown with other instances, other integration systems. Like most of the things we usually do all the negative testings and know like what extents user can go where it not to be happened. Like there was an issue with an portal where there are if there are change tickets more than of 10,000
Mhm.
in an prod instance.
Okay.
So there is only fetching of like thousands of tickets. I mean, rest of the tickets are not able to fetch that. Uh, so in that key scenarios where that 10,000 tickets were not over on the lower instances. So then we normally we dumped all the dummy instances and the dummy tickets into a lower instance, and then we validated, like crossing all the limits. If the field has some set of validations where it has of 4,000 characters, we validate with number of such scenarios, like giving him string values or special characters or email validations and other characteristics and everything we usually validate. So all the negative and positive scenarios and like corners, each and corner of the feature what they have developed will be tested. So then we can surely say like, yeah, there is a zero defect on that.
Okay. What will you do if production issue occurs after
So
the sprint end? Then after the deployment, if the issues occurs in a production, what's your approach?
so the basically when we are deployed a product new bit of into a production instance, if we have an issue, so we usually analyze the first the basic issue was been occurred in the lower instances or in the dev instances. So once the issue has been not occurring and it is only on the prod instances, we usually analyze the how much impact the business is going to affect if this is not getting fixed in couple of hours or couple of days, nothing but 1 day or 2 days. If it is a high priority defect, or it is blocking or it is making impact on any other modules of existing tickets, or mean nothing existing scenarios, then we usually perform a rollback to the particular entire release. Or else if it is not impacting or affecting any other existing scenarios, we usually log a defect on it, and based on his priority the fix will be taken in the next couple of hours. If it is p4 or p2, it will be taken as hotfix from the lower instances, and also validating all the scenarios from lower instances, including whatever the issue occurred in the prod.
Okay. How do you handle pressure from the client or manager?
No, I didn't understand.
Sorry.
I didn't get you.
How do you handle pressure,
Let's see.
work pressure from the client or manager?
See, I have not from the client. I have a pressure from the PO. So
Mhm.
what we usually basically we as a team TL and me, we with the PO, what we discuss is like we segregates the set of features which are highly prioritized to a release. So where this should not be delayed, or it should not taken to a next build next releases. So we usually prioritize to talking to a PO, like how priority is this feature to be deployed or hand over to a customer. So based on that and differentiating how long a testing may take over, like if there is any feature which taking couple of months to be hand over or tested of from our perspective, so we usually pick that first, and we usually analyze it and say with the proper data to a PO, like these are the basic three requisites or pre data required to this feature to kickstart. So we usually balance saying to a PO like in a way where uh, like if we have some features which can be handed even after some days, like we usually based on the prioritize, like as per my experience of this 4 years, I usually talk to PO and we prioritize the features, like how long it may take it can handle a delay, or there is no any escalations from the customer saying that it should be deployed within a set of days, like that we usually prioritize I'm saying like prioritizing. We'll talk to them. Apart from that, like that pressure, we this is how we usually do. If I'm getting some set of features of around five, I'll prioritize them based on the priority, and I'll inform my TL or manager like this is a prioritized feature, so we will complete this first, and then we'll take over or and start doing the other rest of the features, like that.
Okay. Okay. I'm done with the interview. Do you have any question, Hari?
Um, no, I'm not. I'm no anything. Nothing.